We are excited this evening. Definitely. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and then James, you can let anyone in that actually comes in. But excited to have you guys here this evening. This goes super fast. My name is Yolanda M. Smith. They call me the Branthropist because I'm a personal branding expert and business strategist, helping coaches and entrepreneurs to get and stay in business. And I am a LegalShield enthusiast. I love me some LegalShield. And so I am excited to have an opportunity to share with you guys today how you can literally have a chance to work from anywhere and earn great money. I mean, substantial income. It is amazing. It only takes a little bit to get you to a lot. And so just a little bit about me. As I said, I'm a personal branding expert and business strategist. I've been in LegalShield since January. So I'm almost making my year debut. Well, I guess I actually started December 24th. That's when I signed up, but I didn't start working. Y'all already know to at the first of the year. But now, look, I'm working all the way through the year. But I am an enthusiast because once I really understood the power of having access to your rights, it literally changed everything for me. I am a corporate professional that turned entrepreneur. I spent decades in the pharmaceutical industry in senior leadership. I left a lucrative position to take a bet on myself and become an entrepreneur so that I could reclaim my life back. I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever felt like sometimes we trade our time for money and we just don't, if we're going to make it, we got to be there and give them that time. That was me. I mean, I was probably working 60, 70 hours a week, for somebody else, making them millions, trying to figure out where my cut, where was my share of the pie, right? So I founded a company called Branding for Success. And, I've been recognized all over the world, really, for a lot of the work I do in the branding space. But the beauty of it is that no matter what you do, it is so important that you have a why. And what I can tell you is, I don't care if you go and work a job. I don't care if you have a hobby, whether it's your philanthropy work, the why is important. There has to be a reason, a compelling reason, a burning desire of why we do the things we do. And my family is mine. You see my husband on both, I call him the anchor, so I put him at both corners. My son's in the middle with my beautiful grandbaby, Violet. She is one of my greatest whys because I truly would love to leave a legacy. And when I share some of the things with you today, you will see how that is actually possible through this opportunity. But not only that, I have my daughter over here. She goes to Hampton. She is a Hampton pirate. And, college is expensive. And one of the gifts I wanted to give her was the ability to be able to go to school and learn and not worry about getting yourself so deep in debt that all you did for the next 10 years was really work to pay off your college tuition. And so LegalShield afforded me a huge why. And I said that I wanted to pay off her college tuition. Her college tuition is $50,000 a year. I'm proud to say that within 10 months of this opportunity, I earned $50,000 in this company part-time. And so the truth of the matter is that you have great opportunities to be able to do remarkable things if you just put your mind to it, plug into the system. And we'll talk a lot about how you do that. Uh-oh, I didn't say I was techie, did I? How you do that as we move on. But one of the things I can share with you, and you would probably most certainly agree, is that the world has forever changed. What does that mean? More than ever, we are looking for things that really do give us that flexibility, allow us a sense of freedom, right? Those income opportunities. I say it all the time. You must have at least a minimum of 3 streams of income. Why? Because the same hand that feeds you is the same hand that starves you. So if anything would happen to that quote unquote main job, you would have income coming in from other sources and therefore wouldn't feel as anxious and stressed out about scurrying to get something else because you're covered, right? So it's those uncertain times that we know for sure that we need to have a plan. And you got to ask yourself a couple things. Are you generating the income that you desire to generate? And so what I say to people often is, where do you want to be in 3 to 5 years? And is what you're doing today positioned to get you there? Because there's multiple types of incomes, but what we're going to discuss here today are three different forms of income. Linear income, where you do trade your time for money. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that, do you have something else that can give you some cushion, allow you some freedom? Because we've seen people literally take these opportunities, work their jobs, and literally start making enough money on this side where they work their way out of those jobs, right? And so they really claim their freedom and their time back. In addition to that, you have leveraged income. This is where you have the opportunity to work with teams, have collaborations, partnerships, those type of things. And then, of course, there's that residual income. I love me some residual income. That's the thing that you can do one time and it pays you for a lifetime, right? In this case, somebody buys a membership, they maintain that membership, and by month 13, guess what? You continue to get paid. I don't know anybody that does it like that. So when you think about really anything that you want to get yourself into, whether it's buying a service or product, whether it's becoming a part of that company or what have you, you want to look at a couple things. You want to look at the company. You want to make sure that you're getting lined up with a company that is sound, right? That has some solid framework behind it, that is trustworthy, respected in the industry. The next thing is the need in the marketplace. Is what they have fulfilling a need? I tell people often, if you can solve a problem, you can make some money. And then the product, is the product a quality product? Is it something that people have an appetite for? They want, they need it. And then the compensation. Can you be able to be compensated the way you desire to be compensated? That's a very personal thing. When you look at opportunities, people have come in here for a multitude of reasons, right? Some may just want to make an extra 500 a week, and a month, and some may want to make an extra 5,000 a month. But the reality is that it's up to you. And how about the timing? You know what? I think I'm going to take that off my slide, because guess what? I ain't never known timing just to be the right timing, the good timing. We had a conversation the other day, and there's always things that get in the way, but this is what I can tell you: done is better than perfect. And you know what? If a farmer waits for the best weather to plant and harvest, he would never do it. We'd be starving about right now, y'all. But anyway, what's nice is that with LegalShield, this company has a lot of those things behind it, because guess what? Established in 1972, it is over 50 years young, and I'm so excited to share with you that we protect and empower on any given day about 4.4 to 4.5 million lives in the US and Canada. This is called group buying power. This is why the plan works, in turn, the structure, the model works. Not only that, though, the vision is so powerful. And this was one of the reasons I came into the company. Their vision aligned with my values to provide equal access to liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every human deserves. And not only that, we've been featured on all the major media outlets, because again, we've been around for 52 years. So it's a solid company. But you know what? It's where we sit today that says, can you be in the be relevant? Can you be in the know? Can you meet the needs where the people want them? Because guess what? Everybody wants everything simpler, easier, and more affordable. So think about it. Shopping at the mall is almost a thing of the past. There's still a few of them around, but who disrupted that? Amazon. Now every retailer practically has an online store. Or what about music? When you think about music, I could go all the way back to 8 tracks, DVDs, you know what I mean? But then there was the CDs, right? You have all these things that would allow you had to have a tangible product to have music. And then along came Spotify, Apple, Pandora, these things where literally at the tap of an app, you've got music at your fingertips. And that's exactly what they did with legal. And you would think, how in the heck would they know all those years ago? He was ahead of his time. Mr. Stonecipher was ahead of his time. How did you know all those years ago that if you could make access to legal services affordable, people would buy it? And that's exactly what they did. Understanding that the average Hourly rate of an attorney is $300. They've created a model that allows you to pay a monthly subscription fee, never have to pay the high retainer fees or the high hourly fees with the attorneys. And it's amazing how that's working. But not only that, this company has done some remarkable things. They have determined, one, it's not a cookie cutter approach. One size doesn't fit all. So based on where you are or prospects are literally in their life, you can have a personal plan. You can have a business plan, identity theft plan. You can have supplements such as gun owner supplement if you're a gun owner. If you do ride shares, you can have like Lyft and Uber and Instacart. You can have a ride share supplement that gives you that extra protection when you need it. You never know when you're going to need it. And then we cover commercial drivers and employee groups as well. I can remember coming into the organization, and I'll be transparent with you. I never wanted to be a part of an MLM. I never thought this was something that would appeal to me. Oh boy, was I wrong. But the guy that actually invited me, he's on the phone as a matter, on the call. His name is Mr. James Samuel. He kept inviting me to come in and take a look. He said, listen, you're a small business owner. You need these services. I'm telling you, you need it. But not only that, guess what? I coach small business owners. So imagine me having information, but not sharing it with them. And so that's how I got into the business. But it wasn't until I actually needed it that I got into the business. So I had a client that didn't want to pay, and I had delivered superb services to this individual. So I called an attorney and asked them if they would write me a letter. And the attorney said to me, $850. And I'm like, $850 to write a letter? I said, look, I can tell you what to say. Number one, your account's in delinquent status. Number two, you're in a binding contract. Number three, if you don't make a payment by this day, you're going to go into collections. And he said, no disrespect, Mrs. Smith, but we got to read the contract. I said, well, no disrespect to you, but how slow do you read? Because it's only 4 pages. He said, oh, but it's $850. And that's when, at that point in time, I realized I got to do something different. And I got off the phone. I remember sitting there, and then it just hit me. Go back to that guy. So I go back to Facebook and I text him, and I'm like, hey, James. Oh boy, it was seconds. Hey, Miss Smith, how can I help you? And I'm like, good grief. I said, do you guys write letters? He was like, as a matter of fact, we do. You can get 5 a month. I said, 5 a month for how much? He was like, $49. I was like, $49. I was, so me, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So I rounded that to 50, divided that into the $850 this man was going to charge me for this letter. That was 17 months of legal services. He goes, but not only that, you can get your contracts reviewed. You can get this. We'll make phone calls. We'll do. It was a plethora of things that they were willing to give me. So the thing is that when you think about where you are in your life, having access to legal services is your right. It is your right. And you can use it as everyday life. It doesn't take a catastrophic thing to happen before you need legal services. Just think about, have you ever thought about revising or writing your will? If you haven't, I highly encourage you to do so. You guys, we're living in a time right now where folk are crazy. We just had another school shooting. Let's be honest. We don't know the day nor the hour, so wouldn't you want to be prepared just so that your family, could have some peace of mind and honor your wishes no matter what would happen? But not only that, you have the opportunity to get so many other services. Have you ever been treated unfairly? Have you ever had your identity stolen? I have. I totally had my identity stolen. I mean, literally, they went into my account and changed my password, changed my email, change my mailing address. And they probably did this over a period of time because I wasn't active in this account. It was a stock account. But not only that, they then ordered a debit card, sold all my stock. And it wasn't until the 7th transaction that I was alerted by E-Trade that my account had been compromised. 7 transactions and all those things later. Had I had LegalShield, that would not have happened because we would have been monitored. But think about the things that happen in everyday life. You had a defective product that you knew wasn't right, and the store would not try to give you a refund or credit you. These are the things that happen in everyday life. So the beauty is that we have a plan for that. So for $37.95 a month, this is a plan that covers you as the member, your spouse, any eligible dependent children, that's children up to the age of 26 years old, as long as they're in college or at home. And you can get unlimited consults, letters and phone calls, document reviews. You can, if you're buying a home or you're renting and you want somebody to look at your contract, how many times have you ever signed a contract and didn't know what you were signing? I did. I refinanced my house. I loved the rate he told me it was going to be. I didn't read through all that stuff. I just signed on the line. And guess what? The very next year, all of a sudden, my payment went up hundreds of dollars. And I'm like, what's going on here? They're like, well, you're in a variable interest rate. I'm like, a variable? What? What is that? I had no idea, you guys, what I was signing. All I saw was the initial payment and I was excited, right? So think about these things when you just go through your everyday life, but you get family, support for anything from, uncontested divorces, uncontested adoptions, name changes, annulment, prenup, postnup. But with this, you even get IRS audit assistance. There's so much that comes with this. And if it's not covered under this subscription, you get a 25% discount. That's huge. But not only do we cover people up to the age of 26, we are very generous. We want to make sure that people are covered. So if you have a dependent child living with you and you're being the legal guardian, they're covered up to the age of 18. And then children with any physical or mental disabilities and living at home are definitely covered. We want to make sure you're covered. And then we talked a little bit about identity theft, and we have literally one of the most robust plans out there, bar none. I mean, when you talk about cybersecurity, this is like having cybersecurity at your fingertips because we monitor everything that matters. I mean, from literally your private information, your personal information, your public information, your credit reports, your public records, the dark web. Heck, we even monitor your social media. You also have an opportunity to have our malware ransomware protection. So you don't need to buy that separately from other companies for your computer. We do cyberbullying protection. It's so much that is included this, the VPN, so that when you're out in public, guess what? You have an opportunity to be protected. And if anything should happen, because granted, we can't say we're 100% foolproof. These hackers out here are slick. But one of the things we do is we give you $3 million in fraud protection so that if you cannot recover your losses, we will cover you up until that amount. But that's not all. Guess what? You get a private licensed investigator for no additional cost to do whatever it takes for however long it takes to restore your identity back to pre-theft status. And so when you think about who's covered on this plan, it's you as the member, it's your spouse or domestic partner, it's dependent children under the age of 18. However, if between the ages of 18 to 26, they can have free consultation. And guess one of the consultations is that we do? Credit. Teach them how to manage their credit. Right? Some of us need that. Some of us as adults need it, but that's a great service that we provide, and we restore their name if they are involved in identity theft. So when you think about businesses, if some of you may have your own businesses, you have to ask yourself, how are you making decisions today? Is it logical? Are you Googling your decision? Are you asking a friend who is a lawyer and they may live in another state and our state laws are different from that state? Or are you just willing to pay high hourly rates? That's important because one of the things is that you can encounter a plethora of things when you're a business owner. I know. I'm telling you, being in corporate is one thing. Being in business for yourself is a totally other thing. So you think about the different things that can come up, which are, contract disputes. Sometimes you have people that don't want to pay you the money that's owed to you. Do you have funding and cash flow financial concerns? You can get unlimited consultations to talk about some solutions with your attorney. I mean, think about it. If you have supplier contract issues, but more importantly, are you protecting your brand? I said I'm the brand therapist. I want to know, are you protecting your brand? That means you need to have trademarks, make sure your stuff is copyrighted, that your intellectual property is protected. Because one of the things I can tell you is that companies, small businesses collectively lose billions a year just because they don't protect their name. And then they're issued cease and desist, or there's these Me Too pop-ups that pop up and then will trademark the name and people think it's them. So when you think about these things, just know that you too can be covered from a business plan. I'm not going to go into all this, but what I will say is that we have several levels of our business plans. But the one I love the most is the middle, the $99, because why? You get a free trademark every year. So if you're building your business and you're building programs and things of this nature, you have an opportunity to do quite a bit of things. And then when you think about it, you're saying, okay, Yolanda, this all sounds so good, but how do I know when I should use it? Literally, we tell people, if you have to think or ask, what if, can I, can they, should I? What does that mean? I'm not sure. Is that fair? You need to tap the app. Literally, you have an app that you can download that you can schedule your consultations, whether it's for your identity theft, your business, or your personal plans. This is how we do it here. And we also offer member perks. This is one of my favorite parts because I love, love, love to shop. And one of the things that I know is that if I can get a discount, I'm a girl in heaven. We have relationships with over 400 retailers. And literally, you think about some of the things you do normally, if you do them using your LegalShield discounts, that you can often save enough money that covers your plan. Let me give you an example. My daughter goes to college. I shared that with you. I took her back to school in the end of August, and I had to rent a car because I don't drive those 13 hours. We fly, and then I get a car, and then we go shop for all her goodies, and then whatever. So I get an SUV. I ordered the SUV, reserved it. Then 2 days later, realized, duh, why didn't you reserve that using LegalShield? So I said, let me go in here and just see what it'd be. Went into LegalShield, same company, same SUV. I saved $50 a day, and I had that car for 3 days. That was $150 savings I got by using my member perks. So this is real stuff. I mean, you can really make off with this. But let's talk a little bit in the few minutes that we have left about the business opportunity, because I asked you that question. Are you generating the income that you desire? When you think about a good business plan, it has to have a couple things in play for it to make sense. One is an opportunity, right? Is there a great opportunity here that's backed by a good company with some good products and some exceptional compensation, right? That's important. But not just that. I think a company that can give you the blueprint of how to be successful is critical, right? Don't bring me in and just throw me to the wolves and say, go figure it out, go get it. No, that's not what we do here. You know what? We have a proven system, have been in business 52 years, and we know what we're doing. We can replicate and produce results. But more importantly is, what do you think about the community that you work in, the environment that you work in? Imagine being around leaders, mentors, thought partners that truly want you to be successful. That is amazing. And that's what we have here. Here are just a few of the leaders that really stand out. Darnell and Tracy Self are our leaders in the Team New Vision, but there's others in the company as well that are all willing to help you to be successful. We talked about the compensation a little bit, saying there's 3 types of compensation. Well, I'm going to share an extra with you as well, because not only do you have the ability to get commission off of the employee, the members you enroll, you also can get leveraged income by a team you would build. Anything that your team does, you can get a piece of that. But the residual income is what I think is really important. Again, you get 10% commissions every month after a member has been there for 12 months. They stay a year, and for as long as they maintain that membership, they're going to pay you literally a residual income for a lifetime. There are people in this organization, absolutely 38,000 of them to be exact, that are getting residual checks every month. Can you imagine just sitting back and just for the work that you did, get paid? And not only that, it's willable. You can actually take that book of business and will it to someone you love and care about, so that if in fact something would happen to you, you know what, your legacy could live on and they could continue to get paid for a lifetime as well. But not only that, we have great bonuses. These are really good. You can earn all kinds of bonuses, performance bonuses, as well as, incentives. And so when you think about that, you come in at an associate level. This is an example using a legal and plan and a family ID shield. You sell that plan and then literally you get $80 in commission. But what you will notice is that as you go up the ranks, so does your money, right? And it's not that hard to go up the ranks, you guys. You can literally, if you come in and plug in, make $1,000 in 10 days because there are bonuses over here to fast start. So when they'll give you 45 days to get to a manager level, but if you do it quickly, you've got 700 in commission, plus at that manager level, you can have about $1,000. But not only that, you get the team overrides. And that's what you see here on the side where it says under team override. So depending on where you are and where the person is that you bring in, you get the difference in the income from what you should get at your level and where they are. This is real. When I looked at this and when I understood this, this is how I started making the money, because I didn't want to stay down low. I wanted to get up high so that I could get money. But because it's the difference between $80 and $416. And guess what? It's the same level of effort. But not only that, I want you to know that you have an opportunity to really go for performance club incentive trips where, y'all, they pay the whole thing. You don't come out of pocket for anything. Not only that, they let you take a +1. So imagine being able to travel all over the world. And I mean it. They were in Jamaica here, I believe. Our next trip is to Riviera Maya, but then they were also in Marbella, Spain. So depending on where you are in the company, you can get all types of trips that are absolutely 100% paid. That is huge. So just know that there's all kind of ways to be able to make money, and it's just super easy. You can become an associate today and literally have $1,000 in your pocket in 10 days. I know it because we've done it over and over again. And right now, it only costs $49, a one-time registration fee to get started. Then they give you your first 30 days free of your LegalShield Advantage. Look at the LegalShield Advantage like a franchise fee. That's what I like to call it. It's $24.95 a month, but what it gives you is it gives you your website. It gives you your prospect app, which functions as your CRM. That's your customer relationship management tool that you can put people in that you think would be interested in coming into the business. Send them videos, send them resources right from the app. You get your back end office with this and a marketing website. And that way all you have to do is go out and just plug in and do the work. And they'll give you all the resources you need to be successful. So the bottom line is whether you want to start part-time, spare time, or full-time, you have an opportunity to work from anywhere in the world. I mean, it's so funny to see these people traveling. They'll be in Hawaii, somewhere else, doing whatever, and they'll be on the calls, plugging in so that they can make sure that they're doing what they need to do. So again, there's a willable book of business here. Enrollment is simple as 1, 2, 3. Literally, all you have to do is go back to the person that invited you to this call, have a conversation with them, and they'll answer any questions that you may have. But literally, when I tell you, there is nothing like being the boss of me, and getting that freedom to do the things that I enjoy doing with the people that I love doing it with on my own time. So it's your opportunity, your independence. I want to say thank you for joining us this evening. It has been amazing to talk to you. And I am going to just take a leap of faith and just say, you know what? We manifest greatness. We think positively. We don't operate on a scarcity mindset. We don't think about what can go wrong. Instead, we focus on what can go right. So guess what? Welcome to the family. We look forward to seeing you. Have a good night.